sauce, mate. Got cake, mate. Got cheese, mate. Got bread, mate.
Over 5.5 wins for the Indiana Hoosiers. This is currently plus money at both Circa and BetMGM, plus 125. So pretty decent value here. I think Indiana could not just simply make a bowl game. I think they could also finish the regular season with a winning record. I like how their schedule sets up. They've got 8 true home games. That's pretty much unheard of nowadays with the stress and importance of non-conference scheduling. And you know who's Indiana's head coach now? Curt Cignetti. He comes in from James Madison, and he's bringing in a lot of his guys. This is a really good portal class for Indiana. Call this a hot take if you'd like. I think this is a top half team in terms of talent, potentially for the Big Ten this year. It could also be a down year for the Big Ten. Another reason why I think Indiana could surprise this season. Again, 8 true home games and only 3 true road games, as one of their games away from home against the Northwestern Wildcats will be at a neutral site, as Northwestern will not have a home stadium for the next 2 years. So give me Indiana over 5.5 wins at both BetMGM and Circa Sports, plus 125. You can find that value right now at both of those sports books. Curt Cignetti, again, his first season in Bloomington, he has never had a losing season as a head coach. He's had a winning season every single year wherever he's been. I think the Hoosiers have some value to them. Let's go with an over. Over 7.5 wins for Virginia Tech. Minus 164 at FanDuel. If you want the better value, then look around, shop around for the best price. Maybe you can find some 8s out there. If you follow my college football page, then you saw a few months ago when I first posted about Virginia Tech's win total when it first opened, it was only at minus 142. Still juiced to the over, but now it's minus 164, so not quite as good value. But I think the Hokies could have a special season this year. I love their schedule. Last year they went 7-6, and 3 of their losses in the regular season were to Louisville, Florida State, and North Carolina State in the ACC. This season, they don't have to play any of those 3 teams, and for this year, they also don't have to play North Carolina, who is normally one of the more talented teams in the ACC. This season, they'll play Clemson at home, though they will have to play Miami on the road, but it'll be a Friday night. Miami doesn't normally have a great turnout, especially on weeknights. It's a pretty manageable schedule overall, and most importantly, the Virginia Tech Hokies have a very talented roster and what I think will be their most talented team since at least 2016, maybe 2017. They returned some of the most production in the country and were one of only a few Power 4 teams that didn't have anyone drafted this past NFL draft. Not because they weren't talented enough, but because everyone's running it back in Blacksburg, Virginia this fall. Watch out for the Hokies. I think they could be one of the bigger breakthrough teams in college football for 2024. Let's go with an over. Over 7.5 wins for the Iowa State Cyclones. It's just a little bit to the over, but not that much. Minus 110 currently at FanDuel, so it's a pretty good value right now. The Cyclones were the youngest team last season in college football, but started playing really well down the stretch, including their last regular season game. They beat Kansas State on the road in Manhattan in that snow game. And now for 2024, there's no more Texas and no more Oklahoma in the Big 12. Add on to that, Iowa State will play more conference home games than conference road games. And one of their games away from home will be not even a true road game against KU at Arrowhead Stadium. That's only a few hours away from Ames, Iowa. We've seen how Iowa State fans travel. One of Iowa State's other conference road games is against Houston, who is currently last in Big 12 championship odds at pretty much every single sports book. Iowa State normally has a really good defense, and they probably will again, given that they're top 5 in defensive returning production. But also, their offense, I think, could be the true difference maker for the Cyclones. I think this could be the best offense in the Matt Campbell era. Watch out for quarterback Rocco Becht, running back Abu Salma III, and I think the Iowa State receiving corps might actually be its best position group on the team. The Cyclones are a team to watch for in 2024. Let's go with an under. Under 5.5 wins for the Northwestern Wildcats. This is juiced to the under at minus 150 at BetMGM, but I think there's a little bit of room for error here. Circa Sports opened up their Power 4 win totals a couple days ago, and they had Northwestern at 4.5. Northwestern, give all the credit in the world to David Braun and the rest of the coaching staff and what they were able to do last fall, but they maxed out. They were a little bit fortunate. And if you don't believe me, look at TeamRankings.com that has Northwestern third in luck in all of college football last year. They finished third in luck. They were also top 5 in turnover margin and won 7 regular season games. So put it this way, everything went right, and they went 7-5. And now this season, there's no more divisions in the Big Ten, so no more Big Ten West schedule. And Northwestern, on top of that, will not have any true home games this fall. So much more difficult schedule, new quarterback. The luck's probably not going to be to that degree as what it was in 2023. So give me the under for Northwestern. I doubt they make it to a bowl game. Let's go with an under here. Under 5.5 for UCLA, plus 105 at DraftKings. So you got the plus value. There's a lot of question marks surrounding the Bruins program this coming fall. For one, they have a first-year coach in Deshaun Foster. I don't know what to expect out of him. Not that I'm fading him, but he is going to be going up against a lot of experienced coaches in his first season in the Big Ten. On the field, defensively, the Bruins were amazing last year, but they got to replace 7 starters off that defense, and I'm not sure about the pass defense specifically with what the pass rushing department loses as well as the secondary. Offensively, they really struggled on the offensive line last season, especially in pass blocking. I don't know if that's going to improve. The line of scrimmage, like I just mentioned, it could be an issue in the Big Ten. Oh, that's definitely a trouble spot. The schedule, it's really difficult. They've already got 3 red games against Oregon, LSU, and Penn State that they're probably not winning. And then most of their yellow games, their toss-up games, the 50-50, the 60-40, 65-35 kind of games, most of those are going to be on the road. A lot of traveling for UCLA this season with all the mileage. I don't know about the Bruins this season, so let's take the under 5.5. Again, good value here, plus money. I don't know if the Bruins are going to get to a bowl game this fall.